tutu. Tutu na woye. Kosi ku, kosi kosi ejo, kosi ojo, kosi idna, kosi. I call upon the power and spirit of my maternal ancestors. I call upon the power and spirits of my paternal ancestors. For I am spirit of your spirit, blood of your blood, bones of your bones, flesh of your flesh. I call upon you to come forward to hear my prayers and requests.
Pray.
Lead me on my destiny. Be at peace and good character.
What's up, Keith? Hello, Anthony. Bodo Boye, Tatiana. Caro, everybody. Malcolm X. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Ifa. This is Makajuola of Good Morning Ifa. I give thanks and praise for everyone being here today. Today is going to be a very interesting message, so please stay tuned to this message. So again, I want to say welcome to Good Morning Ifa, Caro, to everybody in the West, and Akasan, to everybody in the East. What's going on? Good Morning Ifa is Ifa interpreted through the experiences of an African in America, KKK, and every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're on the East Coast, I believe that's 12 o'clock. So every Sunday morning, we're right here getting it in, speaking our truth. Is the video working properly? Let me know before I keep going. Is everything okay? Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? All that good stuff, because I don't want to get into the middle of all this information, because this is a very important one. Greetings, Jan. How are you? Good morning. Please, someone give me a thumbs up, a hello, or type something in the chat and let me know if you can hear me, and let me know the video, everything is working properly. Anybody? All good. All right, thank you, sir. So, again, every Sunday we're right here at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 12 o'clock on the East Coast. Again, it's going to be right here, hosted by yours truly, Makajuola. Even though we're looking to bring more people in the near future to kind of expand it. But again, if you want to support us, please. I can see you. Okay, good. Again, if you want to support us, please go to Cash App, Good Morning Ifa, and send whatever you can now, during the middle of the course of the message, or at the end, whatever you want. But whatever you can send, it always helps us to keep things going. We like to just keep things going, but also to help other people in our community. There's a lot of people we've been trying to help that's in the South that are still suffering from that Hurricane Laura. So again, whatever you can, support. We appreciate it. All right. So let's go. Cabo to Good Morning Ifa. That means welcome. Ifa community is, I want to make sure I express this every time I get on here. I want everybody to know that may not know that much about Ifa. Ifa is a community-based spiritual system that is energy driven, okay? Which means that it's really driven by the community, but the vibration of the community, the energy of the community dictates where the community is. So that's it. So let's do this. Let's get right into the prayers real quick, and then we'll get right into the message, all right? Greetings, Ifa. It is Makajuola coming to you on behalf of everyone here at Good Morning Ifa, and for every listener that listens to us this morning, Ifa, we pray that you move all egos out of the way on both ends of the table and allow your message to be heard, Ifa. Iba Oludumare, Iba Ori, Iba Iya, Iba Baba, Iba Rumale, Iba Orisha, Iba Gungun, Iba Olu, Iba Ojubani, Iba Babifa, Iba Raba, Iba Kora, Iba Seda, Iba Raba, Bani Life, Iba Lu Aye, Iba Raba Aye, Iba Kora Aye, Iba Seda Aye, Iba Ojubanya Aye, Iba Iya Nifa Aye, Iba Babalao Aye, Iba Olarisha Aye, Iba Annie Harden Aye, Iba Samantha Turner Aye, Iba Julius Franklin Aye, Iba. To all my maternal and paternal ancestors who wants to see success for Makajuola, who wants to see success for Good Morning Ifa, who wants to see success for all the listeners of Good Morning Ifa, we say Aye. Iba, Ifa, Aye. Ifa, I come to you today giving thanks and praise and sober genuflection, Ifa. Ifa, I come to you today giving thanks and praise and sober genuflection for waking me up and for waking everybody who's listening to my voice this morning up and giving us health and strength to keep going through another day, Ifa. We pray humbly that we are forgiven for anything that we have done to offend you, Ifa. Ifa, it was not intentional. Ifa, we pray that we are forgiven. Ifa, we pray that you come in at this day and this time, Ifa, and you remove any negativity that is hovering, circling over us, Ifa. Remove any death, sicknesses, fights, losses, court cases, fears, doubts, contentions, curses, witchcraft, restlessness, anything that is holding us back and holding us down, Ifa, remove it, Ashe. Allow us to experience the rays of life, Ifa. Allow us to experience the rays of Ayeku, a healthy, productive, long life, Ifa. Allow us to experience Ajay, wealth, abundance, wisdom, and knowledge in order to move forward in this life and be prosperous, Ifa. Ifa, allow us to experience great spouses that will give us love, nurturing, caring, support, Ifa. Ifa, allow us to have good children that will go out in the world and produce good fruits, Ifa, and leave the world a better place than they found it, Ifa. Ifa, allow us to have victory over all things, Ifa. Victory over all things we are dealing with internally or externally. Victory over all things such as COVID-19. Victory over all things such as egos. Victory over all things such as greed, Ifa, in the world. Ifa, let us have victory over all these things so that we can live in a world of peace and harmony and live in communities of love and happiness. Ifa, we give thanks and praise on this day. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right, let's go. Now the prayer's out of the way. First and foremost, a couple announcements. Again, you guys, we launched, myself and Ifa Shewa launched a website called Orieni.com. That's Orieni.com, ORIENI.com. That was launched in July, late July, okay? So if you go there right now, you can check out the website or at some point, but it's basically about cultivating your Ori. Coming to Ifa, you need to cultivate your Ori so you can get the understanding and let the wisdom seep in of Ifa. So if you want to get more information about that, please go to Orieni.com or call 800-243-3401. That's 800-243-3401. You can speak to myself or Ifa Shewa, or you can email us at orienilove@gmail. That's orienilove@gmail. You can email us also. All right. So let's get into what's going on here today. I stayed up pretty much half the night last night putting this presentation together. I put a beautiful PowerPoint together last night that you guys obviously can't see, but for whatever reason, I couldn't figure out how to get this thing to work on Facebook. So I'm just gonna go by it anyway. But today's topic today is no one is above good character. No one is above good character. Now, before I begin this, I want to make sure I give a disclaimer. All right? This message today is not meant to offend anyone. Every message that I make on Good Morning Ifa is only meant to bridge the gap of information. And the gap that needs to be bridged is the information that is accessible to us African Americans in America from those that we are receiving the information from on the continent. And the middlemen that are here in America that are in positions of power to disseminate the information to those of us who want it in America. That's my only mission with Good Morning Ifa. And to help my people to come out of the bowels of this particular system that we live in called American society and return back to our Isheshe, which is our traditions, traditionalisms. So with this message that I'm about to send today, I pray that our Oris are open-minded today and we can receive a different perspective than what we may have already heard before or what we may be accustomed to. Okay, everybody has a truth. Elders are supposed to listen to the youth, and the youth are supposed to listen to the elders. If there's no communication between the two, then things will get lost in translation and we will have chaos. So I want to make sure that I am very specific and clear that this message is not meant to offend anyone. It is just here to bring a different perspective, okay? Now, with that said, let's dig into the information. Greetings, Day Austin. Let's get into the information. Again, the title is No One is Above Good Character. No one is above good character. Okay? I want to start with this theory that I have regarding the information that is being provided to us African Americans here in America, obviously, okay? The information that we are getting in America is very limited because let's be truthful. The information that we are seeking is in Nigeria, all right? And there's only so many people here who have the authentic Isheshe traditionalism information. And those who are here are doing what I call the blue magic theory when it comes to the information of Ifa being disseminated to the followers of Ifa. Okay? What do I mean by the blue magic theory? Us African Americans, we all come from environments that may understand exactly what I'm about to say. And if you're not from America, you may not totally get what I'm about to say, but you're about to get introduced to our life here in America. So the blue magic theory, I got that idea from American Gangster. So, you know, when Frank Lucas, when he took matters upon himself and he went to that, I think it was Thailand, and he got the stuff that he wanted. I'm not going to say what it is, but when he got the stuff that he wanted from those people over there that was pure as possible, and then he came back to America to distribute the information, and he put lock and key on everything, and he was trying to tell certain people what they couldn't do with the stuff they bought from him. He was controlling the purest information, purest product that he could in his community after going to secure it where it came from. That's how I feel technically about Ifa information being disseminated in America to us Ifa followers, us couples of Ifa. Those of us who don't have the direct line connection to those over there where the purest information is being given. The ones who have made the trip, the pilgrimage over to Nigeria, that have made the connections with the chiefs and whoever else over there to make the relationship with them, to be able to gather information, and then they come back to America and they want to control the information. That's where the problem lies. And the people that are over there have no clue what's happening to the people in America, period, at all, number one. But particularly when it comes to us receiving the information that we so desperately need. That's what I call the blue magic theory when it comes to Ifa information being given here to us Africans in America. Now, what does Ifa say about character? Because if you're trying to control the information that is not yours by the number one, okay? It is not yours. No one has a copyright padlock on Ifa or Olodumare's information. No one. Now, there are rules to it, I understand. And sometimes our rules do not commingle because they're two different societies that we're blending together. African society does not fit well in America and vice versa. But somehow we have to live in this American society while trying to live an African lifestyle. It's a hard job. And we need that understanding from those chiefs and Aluos and everybody over there that's controlling the information that's being given to us. We need your empathy over here to understand who we are. Because the people that you have been giving it to are oppressing people in order to get the information. That's the truth. And we're going to get more into that in a minute. So what does Ifa say about good character? Because the people who should be giving this should be following the good character traits. Now, what I'm about to present to you, I have never seen throughout my whole 10 years of being around Ifa. I had never seen this until someone I know posted this on Facebook a few weeks ago. I had never seen this. And when you read this, it makes you wonder why they don't give you this, because it's pretty much not followed at all. Pretty much. So let's get into this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give you 8 traits that every follower and priest of Ifa and Orisha traditions, okay, must incorporate in their daily lives and hold as their foundation of ethics. Every follower and priest of Ifa and Orisha tradition, okay? That goes for Santeria, Lukumi, all of that, okay? These are the codes of ethics that all must consume and pass on to their godchildren, biological children, family members, extended families, temple members, communities, etc. These followers and priests are supposed to consume the information and then come back and give it to their community, basically. All right? Stay with me. Don't leave me here. These are the characteristic traits that supports every individual in achieving his or her destiny, and also affects positively the destinies of others around him or her. To not consume these traits is to place oneself off the path of achieving one's destiny. What are these traits? Let's talk about it. I'm going to give you 8 of them, okay? The 8 traits real quick. First one is truthfulness. A follower and a priest must be truthful, which means the ability to speak all those words which, after being verified, are found to be as they were spoken. Meaning that if you say it is what it is. All right? Truthfulness is the number one thing that a follower and a priest must do. Must consume, all right, must be. Honesty is another one. Now, honesty is different than truth, because honesty is the ability to do things with sincerity of purpose, without cheating or hidden agendas, lies, or deceit. Doing things with purity of purpose without blemish. You gotta be doing what you're talking about with honesty. You can tell the truth, but if you're not living that truth, you're lying and you're not being honest. Honest people live their truth. Now, these again are all the things followers and priests must embody in their practices. Benevolence, the ability to act generously with the desire to do good at all times without any self-consideration, meaning you do it without looking for something to come of it. You just do it because it needs to be done. Understanding is number 4. Number 4 is understanding, the ability to know and appreciate how others feel under any circumstance, or to be able to know the details of something occurred in any situation, the ability to put others' feelings into consideration at any time or circumstances. It's not about you, it's about how you can be of service. Next, number 5 is hopefulness, the ability to know and be certain that one is seeking, as long as it is reasonable, will come to pass. Hopefulness, the ability to know and be certain that what one is seeking, as long as it's reasonable, will come to pass. The belief that tomorrow will be better than today, and that yesterday was not good as it will be as rewarding today. So you got to be hopeful. Number 6, patient, the ability and willingness to wait or defer gratification or a result. The ability to wait something out and possibly experience pain, suffering, irritation, grief, etc. in the process of waiting. Not forcing something to occur, but doing one's work and allowing the work to bring out fruits as its appropriate time. You have to be able to be patient to be a follower of Ifa, and let alone be a priest. Okay? Number 7, you have to be dedicated. All right? You must be dedicated when you're in Ifa. So dedication to Ifa is the ability to be totally devoted to any course without looking back, being able to give oneself completely to a cause, belief, or project after deliberating fully before starting. You have to be able to keep going, not looking back, be focused on the job at hand. That's it. All right? And number 8, last one, humility is the ability and willingness to express a moderate opinion or view of one's abilities, virtues, or worth. Stop being full of yourself, basically. You cannot be full of yourself. It cannot be about you. That's not humility, okay? So, those are the 8 traits that a priest and a follower must have, they must embody, and then go back and deliver to their community, family, friends, godchildren, whoever else, etc. Okay? That is a priest's job and a follower's job. Now, as part of the 8 character traits, all followers and priests are expected to display in their everyday lives the following are 8 character traits that all followers and priests must avoid displaying. Okay, these are the next ones are what they must avoid displaying. The following 8 traits are what destroys a person's destiny and affects negatively the destinies of others around them. What are those 8 traits? Anger. Okay? Anger. Anger is a trait that an awo, a babala, a luo, a follower, or just a new initiate, someone with hand to be fought, you must avoid anger. Anger will poison the situation. Hatred. I'm not going to go into reading all these definitions. I think we know what they are, just for the sake of time. Hatred, okay? Hatred is another one. Envy is another one. Envy is another one. As a Babalawo and a person that's a follower of Ifa, or Luo, whatever you are, you cannot be envious of other people. Everybody's Odu is not the same. Keep your mind on your eyes on your own upon. Do what you came here to do and let other people's Odu activate in them and be who they are. Envy is a big one. Wickedness, the art of thinking, speaking, or doing evil and or wicked things against other people based on real or imaginary reasons. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. If you're wicked against other people for whatever reason, that is a violation of one of the 8 characteristics you're not supposed to do as a follower or a priest. Pride is number 5. Pride. A follower or a priest must not exhibit pride. This is a vain or personal dignity. This is an exaggerated feeling of pleasure and subjective satisfaction at one's possessions or achievements, oftentimes at the expense of others' people's feelings or dispositions. Pride. Intolerance is huge. This is my favorite one thus far right here, intolerance, okay? Let me explain why. Intolerance. This is the inability or refusal to bear or endure other people or certain situations or attitudes. It is the unwillingness to allow others to air their views or express their feelings in any way and or in any issue because of those views or feelings being different from one's own views or opinions. How many people have been kicked out of temples or elays or whatever because of their views that didn't necessarily match? And let's be real. I'm going to be very candid and real with this situation. A lot of the times, us African Americans don't even know the true culture of Nigeria or the culture of Ifa in Nigeria because most of us have never even been to Africa. Even if you make a couple of pilgrimages over there, you're never going to know the entire culture just from a couple of visits. You got to live there. You got to live it. And if we don't know what the culture is, and particularly if we've never been even told, like I told you, I've never seen this until a couple of weeks ago, and I've been in Ifa for 10 years. I've never seen this. But if someone doesn't tell you this and they want to chastise you based upon what they may know about this, that you may not have been privy to the information from, that is a form of intolerance and a violation of these codes. And therefore, a fracture or an infraction charge to your character. Selfishness is number 7. Selfishness. We all know what that is. All right? We all know what selfishness is, except for a few Scorpios out there, right? I'm just playing. Greed is number 8. Greed, that's a big one. Greed. The desire for all the good things of life for oneself, often at the expense of others. Greed is a big one, all right? So let's cap this up real quick. And I want to get into what the meat of the message is after this, okay? The following are the 8 traits that every follower and priest of Ifa and Orisha tradition must incorporate into their daily lives and hold as their foundation of ethics. Now, who are the followers? Let's identify what Ifa is saying. Who are the followers that Ifa is talking about? The followers, number 1, are the initiates, okay? The newly initiates, okay? Ifa initiates. People that are couples of Ifa, which means that you are training and studying Ifa. Or the Orisha initiates. Maybe you got initiated into an Orisha, okay? Initiates are followers. Another one, followers. Another one are followers. People who have Ides and Ilekes, okay? They may have received any Orisha. Sometimes you can just receive an Orisha and they'll give you these Ides and probably a bundle of Ilekes with Ogun, Oshun, Oya, all those things together. But these are the people who are considered the followers. Ogun Kimi asked me, what am I reading from? I'm reading from a script or a text that my Baba Ifa gave me. He posted actually weeks ago. So I'll send it to you, Ogun Kimi, so you can have a copy of it too. All right, let me get back into this. Now, those are the followers, okay? Who are the priests that Ifa is talking about? Because remember, the followers and the new initiates and the people who wear the Ilekes and the days, that we are looking to get the information from the priest. And the priests are the Babalaos, the Ianifas, the Ialodes, the Aluos, the chiefs, and etc., etc. But these right here are the main ones that we pretty much know of in America. So the Babalaos, the Ianifas, the Ialodes, the Aluos, the chiefs. These are the ones that the These are the ones that the initiates and the Ide Eleke bearers and people like that are looking to learn from, to get their information from, to learn more about Ifa, to practice Ifa, to study Ifa, to even be in a capo. You got to be under their tutelage. And we're talking about 4 years. Not 4 years, but 4 years, okay? You have to be under their tutelage for a while before you can stand on your own and become a priest and become a Babalawo. There's work that has to go through. You have to deal with that. And it's a pecking order, and there's a structure and a design to that I truly understand. You can't come in as an initiate and act like you know more than the Babalawo. There's a eldership dynamic to that you have to respect. You don't walk into your mother's house and tell your mother what to do. She's older than you, she's elder, and she's a wiser person than this, or your father, no matter what the scenario is. Move your pride out of the way. You have to get rid of those things, as I named in the previous 8 traits, right? The priests are the elders that teaches and guides the followers based on the wisdom of Ifa shared to them by their Baba Ifa, teacher of Ifa. So the priests are the ones who are the elders in this situation, that are teaching the followers based upon what they have been taught from their elders. So as the follower, our job is to totally submit to that elder's information. Let's keep it real. This is not a one-sided discussion, okay? As a new initiate, as a follower, we have to submit and surrender what we thought once was real to this, and put that to the side in order to be able to be trained by that elder so that they can give you what they're supposed to give you. I'm hoping this makes sense. In the Odu of Owarin Meji, it says that Ifa says that we must pay homage, respect, and give reverence to our elders. That is a must do. And if we don't do that, we are putting ourselves in harm's way, because the elders can make things bad for us, okay? I did a presentation on this back in August 2nd of 2020. So if you want to see that, it's called Respect Your Elders. It's on my page. So please go to the page and watch that if you want to see more about this Odu and what that's about. It's about respecting elders. So trust me, I'm all about respecting elders. Like, if an elder disrespects me, I'm walking away. I'm not ready to go toe-to-toe and argue with an elder, no matter how wrong they may be. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to call you on what you're doing if it becomes abusive or oppressive. So question to me, should the follower trust the elder or priest's guidance and leadership even if they have been the authors of chaos, oppression, caused social ills within the community? If you have found that these priests or these elders are not exercising good character, I'll say, should you keep practicing? And if these are the only people you can get the information from, what do you do? Because remember, we don't have that blue magic connection over in Nigeria like the elders would, because the people that are elders in Nigeria won't even talk to the people who are just new initiates because of the way that they do things in Nigeria. They won't even talk to you. So you're stuck dealing with somebody in America that has these type of issues. And I've heard so many issues over the since I began this journey of Good Morning Ifa, I have received so many emails in my DM. I've talked to so many people who have been like abused in so many different ways that I don't want to name it because I don't want to taint the belief system that I believe in. It's not the system, it's the people who are violating these traits. because they're controlling the blue magic called Ifa information, and it's wrong. Yes, as a student, yes, as a new initiate, yes, as a follower, we are supposed to surrender to the elder. But if the elder is doing wrong, what do you do when there's nobody controlling that elder? That's a problem. Because, again, amongst these characteristics, Ifa goes on to say, see, Ifa is very thorough. It's people that are ignoring these things for selfish reasons, greed, a few of the negative traits that I named: selfish, greed, pride, all of these things, envy, hate, like they are doing these things that are opposite of the first 8 that I named, but they are in control and positions of control to control the blue magic information called Ifa. It's wrong. And this is a cry out to those who are in Nigeria to help us out here in America so that we can get what we so desperately need. We are living in pandemics. We are living in a time where police are shooting black people in the street down quicker than they would a raged dog. They will try to save a dog before they try to save a black person. This is the society that we live in America. And a lot of us black people, our ancestors are calling us home, and we have to go through this just to get the information. It's not cool, man. Ifa goes on to thoroughly say, no follower or priest must be engaged in any work or activity that causes imbalance, that causes chaos, that causes social ills of any type in society, or that oppresses anyone or anything. Let me say that again. That oppresses anyone or anything. Respect is key for these things to be avoided. How do I respect you if you're creating these chaoses, or if you're oppressing me to get the information, if you're causing imbalances in the temple, or you're allowing the chaos to exist in the temple? Like, how do I respect you? And if this is the only way I can get it, then I'm in trouble. And whoever else wants to get the information is in trouble. What's the solution to this issue, y'all? Of course, we must respect our elders. I said that already. If the elders do not respect you, hold your tongue and leave their presence. Olodumare sees all and will see the goodness in you by your actions. There's no need to attack them. There's no need to publicly assassinate them. There's no need for that. Just walk away, hold your tongue, and keep doing what you're doing. Ifa will hear you. Because if this person is put in that position and they're creating these dynamics, then trust me, they can't run from Ifa. They will not be able to run from Ifa. Conclusions, you guys. If you're in this position where your elders are disrespecting you, address it privately. At least try to talk to them, reach out to them, settle it. Apologize to them for whatever they feel that you may have done to cause that. Just try to settle the issue. 2 wrongs will never make a right. Try to settle the issue. Remember, Aluos and Babalaos and Ianifas, they're not perfect people. This is not meant to say that we want you to be perfect. We just want you to be fair. Okay? Be fair. We know that you're not Olodumare. I don't think there's anybody in this world that got both of those 8 traits down pat. If that's because that would be a perfect person. That doesn't exist anywhere. Olodumare tells you that no one will ever be able to be Olodumare. So you're never going to be that, including the Babalawo or elder that you're trusting. But when it comes oppressive, that's when I have an issue. If that doesn't bear fruit, respectfully remove yourself from the situation, temple, or ile. Now, that's an option, but it's a tough option, like I said, because if these are the only people with, I guess I'll say the only people that have the information that you need, but you got to get past this Broomhilda hellfire ring of information just to get past, to get the information that you truly want. Like, it makes it tough. It makes it exhausting just to get the information. But just think about it this way. If you had a parent that was mistreating you, what would you do? You just got to remove yourself from the situation. You don't cuss them out. You don't go off. You don't act ignorant and go ghetto. You just remove yourself from the situation. Stay focused, just like in the previous 8. Hopefulness is the key in this situation. Just remain hopeful. Do your work. Do your work. Do your prayers. Stay devoted, and Ifa will reveal the right person for you. We have to let Olodumare defend you, is the last thing I want to say as a solution. We have to let Olodumare defend us. It's not up to us to seek revenge against these people. Stay devoted to Ifa, and the teacher will appear. This is a tough message for me to give, you guys. This is really a tough message for me to give because I truly love Ifa. I truly do. But it needs to be cleaned up. I'm just going to be real. It needs to be cleaned up here in America especially. We Americans, African Americans particularly, do not live the culture, the life of our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. There's a different culture that is being exploited for information. For example, this is no lie, I can actually post the text line. I woke up this morning to someone trying to friend me from Nigeria, saying that he's a priest and a Babalawo in Nigeria. Now, I don't normally accept these friend requests because they always want something. They're never just trying to be your friend. They always want something. But I said, you know what, I'm going to see what he wants. So I accepted the friendship. This man gets on here and immediately tells me what he's selling. He's selling clothes and sculptures, Ifa sculptures. And then in the next breath, he has the audacity to ask me to set up a Western Union for a client of his so that they can receive some stuff from him and they can pay him through the Western Union that I set up. Like, he want me to launder money for him to get paid for his Ifa paraphernalia. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, y'all don't have no respect for us African Americans. Y'all act as if we not living in poverty over here too. Our poverty just costs more than yours, man. There is a disconnect of respect here. There is a serious disconnect of respect, and I'm very sick and tired of Frank Lucas controlling the blue magic of information called Ifa information. I'm sick of it. And being able to just annihilate people or castrate people, cut people off, control people, tell you who you can talk to, do this, and because of what reason? Let's get this straight, man. We are getting this at an adult age. Us Ifa people in America are getting this in an adult age after coming up through Reaganomics, the crack era, gang violence, all the things that we experienced as young people, and trying to come into some healing aspects, trying to get back to what our ancestors are calling us to. And this is what we got to get through just to get the information. It's not cool, man. And that's not good character. And like the title of this message says, no one is above good character. When you see someone trying to do the right thing, you should reward that person. You should help that person. You should not try to control the information for your benefit. That is wrong. Let me go back through the 8 traits as I leave this situation so that we can leave this on a good note. The 8 traits, I'm not going to read the definitions. I'm going to tell you what the titles are. It's truthfulness, honesty, benevolence, understanding, hopefulness, patience, dedication, and humility. This is what we should be seeking out in any Babalawo, Ianifa, Oluwo, Ialode, or chief that we come in contact with. We need to watch out for that in these people. Just as if they're watching out for that in us. Because they are. They're trying to see who they're training. They want to see who you are, because if you're not initiated, they can't really tell who you are. So they're trying to see who you are by looking at these traits and aligning these traits to your actual actions. We have to do the same thing in return, because just because they're an Oluwo, just because they're a Babalao, just because they're a chief, does not mean that these things are all in line with them. We're all human beings trying to be Omoluabi. It just depends on how far off are these traits that they're suffering from. Because if they're angry, how can you ever listen to them? If they're spewing or releasing hatred actions, how could you ever trust them? If they're envious, how could you ever deal with them? If they're doing wickedness, how could you ever deal with them? If they're prideful, how could you ever deal with them? If they're intolerant, how can you ever deal with them? If they're selfish, how could you deal with them? If they're greedy, how could you deal with them? And vice versa. If you have any of these traits, how can they help you? How can they train you? It's a two-way street. Trust me. I'm not pointing the finger just in one direction. We, as the new initiates, the people who are coming to it, you have to let go of all these negative traits that you have learned in America. You have to let them go. But when you're seeking out a Babalao to get help to remove from these things, because one thing Babalaos and people that are in those priest positions, they don't do is take into consideration where you came from. They do not take into consideration what your experience has been. They think that because they gave you an Odu, which you know nothing about 10 times out of 10, that's all you need. You can't call them to get help when this Odu is being activated and is running amok, or it's even making your life awesome. You can't call them. You can't do anything about it. You just got to figure something out that you have no idea about, because they're not taking into consideration that you are a grown woman or man that has real life experiences and pains and suffering. And this is what I have learned doing this Oriani class that I told y'all about in the beginning. It has taught me some lessons that we African Americans need healing when coming to Ifa. We have to have healing when coming to Ifa. Giving me an Odu is not just enough. It's not enough. If you suffered trauma in your life, rape, abuse, verbal, physical abuse, gang violence, and just all the things that we have to see. Look at the things that we have to see on television. Some children are watching this growing up. That is going to be scars in them that when they become 21 and 30 and living their adult life, they're going to have to live with. To this day, every day I see a police car behind me, my stomach drops. I don't know what's about to happen. But you think an Odu is going to protect me from that? No, it's not. With no explanation of this Odu. That's just wrong, man. We need compassion from everyone in leadership positions, extending to Nigeria. That is the honest to God truth. This is probably one of the realest presentations I've ever done. Hopefully, the realest one I will ever have to do. but it's the truth. It's the honest to God truth. And I know people don't want to deal with the truth because it makes you have to be honest and do something about it. But it's time to do something about it. Just like it's time to me to do something about my hair, huh? I look kind of rough on this screen. But I digress. Do something about it. I love Ifa. I love Ifa. You have no idea. I love Ifa. I have been devoted my life to Ifa throughout everything that I have been experiencing, good, bad, and ugly. I have stayed with it. I have devoted to my studies. I have committed to doing everything I can do to receive the information that I desire. And my desire is to receive the information in order to deliver it to my people that speaks my language, that I can help come out of the bowels and the guts of this retarded, crazy system called America. Mark, you crazy. I'm boycotting the barber, man. I don't need a barber. Anyway, so that is the purpose of Good Morning Ifa. That is the purpose of myself and Ifa Shewa starting Orieni. Healing, dealing with where we came from, dealing with the pains and the scars that men have nowhere to release this to. We as men, we have to hold it in and be tough and strong and die young. We have to hold it in. There's no space for us to be vulnerable. There's no retreat for men to go on and be vulnerable with other men or anybody for that matter. There's no space where the truth is being told regarding the gender relationship that we have with our own women and men that are at war right now. Like, there's no space for that while raising children in the midst of this. But we can go get an Odu and get some taboos and that's all we need? No, it's not. No, it's not. I will never believe that. We need to have some psychiatric healing, psychological healing before going to Ifa with Awos, Babalaos, Iyanifas, chiefs that have compassion for that is willing to truly help you. Am I saying elbows don't work? No, I'm not saying that. But they're not going to work by themselves. Elbows have two parts to them. The elbow work that you have given and what you need to do honestly after the elbow is done. But if you have a scratch record in your head of a narrative that you've been telling yourself for the last 30, 20, 40, 50 years, it's going to be hard for you to follow that elbow. Because of the trauma that you suffered and the scratch record you've been playing over and over again. Have you ever heard a record that you know is horrible, but they played it on the radio so many times that you wind up singing it? It became a part of who you are eventually because you just found yourself singing it, blurting it out like you had Tourette's? Well, how in the world do you expect me to get out the traumas that I suffer from seeing somebody shot in front of me at a schoolhouse, or seeing somebody shot in front of me right here on Arlington and Gage, or seeing my homeboys die that I grew up with that I love so much, and every day I'm growing up, I'm hearing one of them are dead because of gang violence. My boys getting locked up for 25 years to life. My family growing up in poverty. Me living in poverty and being on the county my entire childhood life and never seeing my mother work. Like, all the traumas, walking into my refrigerator and seeing nothing but a Coke and some water and some milk and cereal in the refrigerator. Like, all the traumas that you suffer in this life, an Odu is not finna solve. And the people who are giving it to us don't even care to ask. They just think that because Nigeria does this, this is how it's done, and this is how it's going to help you, with no explanation to it. That's crazy. I'm sorry. I know this part is good. I know this part may have offended people. I know this part may have offended people, but it's real. I really want to see us learn Ifa. I really want to see my people come back to it. Trust me. I've been doing Good Morning Ifa for the last almost 2 years now. Straight. I may have taken a week break. I've dedicated myself to doing this, and I don't have to. I don't really get paid for this. This is not my way I take care of my house. This is pro bono work for me. I don't have to be doing this. I stayed up last night until 1 o'clock in the morning doing this just to have a presentation for y'all this morning. So trust me, I'm dedicated to helping my folks. Again, this is a cry to our Nigerian brothers. Yeah, I'm not trying to generalize, Ia. I'm not trying to generalize. Let me be specific, and I'm glad you said that. I'm not trying to act as if this is every Aluo, every chief, every other, okay? But what I'm saying is, I know some good Iyanifas, including my friend here, Ogun Kimi. I know some good people out here who are doing good work. They're doing the best that they can. I'm simply saying there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. There's a super disconnect from those that are in power of the information or in control of the information that people here receive, that the people here receive are trying to control how they give it to you. And trust me, I understand it. This information is so powerful. It should not be in the powers of the wrong hands. It's almost like the Transformers. Like you don't want the Allspark in the Decepticon's hand. They're gonna do wrong with the Allspark, okay? That's Ifa to me, man. Like, okay, I get it. I got it, good. But that does not give you the ability to violate the character code, okay? I'm gonna call it the character code, in order to control everything. Unless your character is perfect, what they say, who is without sin cast the first stone, okay? Unless your character is perfect, bruh, I'm gonna need you to have some patience with me and some tolerance with me. Help me. Don't cut me off. If you see I have issues, you see I'm suffering from something, don't cut me off. Extend the olive branch of help if it's within your ability to help. But extend the olive branch of help so that I can get it, especially when the person is extending or showing or expressing that they truly do want to get it. They truly do want change. You can't do that for everybody, I get it, because it will be exhausting. But those who are trying to show that they want change, you need to help them. And just doing a dafa and an elbow for them is not enough, because they don't understand it. That's real. All right, man. I'm babbling now. I'm going way beyond the time frame that I said I would. It's 10 o'clock, dang. So I give thanks to everybody who watched today, y'all. Share this message. Again, this is not meant to offend anybody. This is not meant to criminalize or charge every last Aluo, Iyanifa, Babalao, Chief, or whoever else. The only ones who are going to complain are the ones who are feeling the heat from what I'm saying. So, but the ones who are not feeling this or not doing this is not for you, okay? This is for those who are really, truly warriors of Olodumare, trying to extend the information to us so that we can get the information and move on with our lives and bless our lives and better our lives. That is my mission here with Good Morning Ifa. I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can until Olodumare says the time is up. But other than that, I appreciate everybody who listened. I pray that this message brings some kind of change. I pray that this message, this truth is heard and some honesty actions take place after this. I love everybody who watches this show. I love everybody who supports it, who shares it, who comes on all the time and watch it. You guys, if you want to support my efforts here, I know I put myself out here big time. This was a very brave message for me to say, because I know it's not going to necessarily be translated properly by everybody, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm just tired of watching it. I'm tired of dealing with it. I'm tired of seeing it. I just want to be at peace. And Ifa to me is to help bring peace. And if I don't see peace happening and chaos is happening in our own system, we don't have anything as it is, y'all. Like, it's like, man, we tried church, we tried Allah, we tried everything. We're trying to come to Ifa and like, yo, why we can't escape the dramas? Maybe it's some scratch record in our heads we have to get rid of. These algorithms that we are suffering from, man, they gotta go. I'm just saying, man. I'm sick of it. I want to see something happen that's huge in America. I want to see black people coming together along with other people also, but particularly let me deal with home first. Black people coming together and getting their information and doing what they're supposed to do with it again. But we can't do that without certain people. So we need everybody in line with this, man. Love y'all. If you want to support, you know what it is. Go to Cash App, Good Morning Ifa. $ Good Morning Ifa. Do what you can. It's all good. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all had a blessed, happy week thus far. I hope this week coming up is even more full of Ure. May you have all the Ayeku, Ajay, Aya, Omo, and Ishegun that God, Ifa, and Olodumare can possibly muster in your direction. I pray that no Yewos will touch your front door, okay? There will be no death, sicknesses, fights, losses, court cases, fears, doubts, contentions, curses, or witchcraft that will touch your life or touch your family's life, especially in these times that we are living in America as black people. I love everybody, though. I love my Hispanics. I love my people. I love everybody out there. All right? If you want more information about Ori work, please go to oriani.com. Oriani.com. Go to oriani.com now. Subscribe. This class right now is full blown right now. We're into our 4th class now, but we will be starting back up again November 7th. So if you want to get on the pre-registration list, let us know. Go subscribe at oriani.com. All right? I give thanks to everybody who listened. I pray that you guys received this message. It was not meant to offend anybody, like I said. It's just a truth that I felt needed to be said. All right? Give thanks. Praise. I'm out. I shizzle.